Hi, my name's Nicola Toe, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about contextual safeguarding and neighbourhood assessments. What is a neighbourhood assessment? The contextual safeguarding neighbourhood assessment was developed by the University of Bedfordshire with Hackney Children and Family Services to support practitioners to consider how to assess and develop responses to child sexual exploitation, child criminal exploitation, and serious youth violence in neighbourhoods. Who may want to undertake a neighbourhood assessment and why? A number of people may want to undertake a neighbourhood assessment. This could be children's social care, the youth offending service, community safety, police, housing, schools, and any relevant stakeholders. Neighbourhoods have been identified as sites in which young people can experience and/or be safeguarded from abuse and violence, from experiences of child sexual exploitation in fast food restaurants, criminal exploitation in parks, serious youth violence on transport routes, to exposure to drug use and dealing in vulnerable adults' homes. While agencies already work to keep young people safe outside of the home, such as neighbourhood safety and the police, the primary focus of this work is crime prevention as opposed to child welfare. Research suggests that there are a number of ways that young people can be safeguarded from harm in neighbourhood spaces, from designing out opportunities for abuse to occur and creating opportunities for community guardians. As such, it is critical that when young people experience abuse and violence, and this is in some way associated to locations outside the home, such as a park, street, stairwell, businesses, that the neighbourhood itself features within the process of assessment and intervention. If we want to address the factors that cause abuse or provide an opportunity for abuse to occur, then these factors need to be identified, explored and addressed. A neighbourhood assessment is one way to achieve this. So how to prepare for a neighbourhood assessment? There are 4 ways that you can prepare for a neighbourhood assessment. This includes resident surveys, business surveys, community engagement, and neighbourhood observations. When carrying out surveys, it is important to think about timing. For example, when businesses are quieter, when residents and the community are less busy, to ensure they have time to engage purposefully with the survey. It is helpful to emphasise that the survey relates to children and young people to mitigate any concerns the businesses might have and to prevent discussions focused on other concerns that do not relate to safeguarding. Community engagement could mean that you set up resident meetings and attend youth clubs and engage the communities on a one-to-one. Neighbourhood observations look at secure doors, entryways, CCTV, accessibility of entry and exit routes, opportunities to access help, street lighting, locations, whether they're close to the roads or isolated, bushes and trees blocking visibility, secluded areas. They look at community activities and opportunities and general maintenance of the area. So an example of a survey. This is a survey template which was developed by the Peace Team and the Contextual Safeguarding Network in 2020. This survey can be accessed on the Contextual Safeguarding Network website. Once you've completed your surveys with residents, engaged with the community and surveyed businesses, you will need to write up the assessment using the following template. The assessment is broken down into 3 key elements: young person and peer group needs, guardianship capacity, environment and community factors. So the first third of the assessment will look at the needs of young people in the neighbourhood. This will look at their identity, their safety and well-being, social relationships in the neighbourhood, public resident needs, and other views expressed by young people about their experiences in the area. You will then summarise and analyse the young people's needs in the neighbourhood. So you will look at what is working well for young people in the area, what you are worried about, and what you'd like to happen. The second part of the assessment will look at guardianship capacity. This looks at ensuring safety, trusted relationships, knowledge and understanding of safeguarding role, care and investment, opportunities and choices. Again, you will summarise and analyse the guardianship in the neighbourhood. What is working well about the guardianship in the area? What would we like to improve? What would help to do this? The third part of the neighbourhood assessment will look at environmental and community factors. So use of space, neighbourhood safety, partners, businesses and agencies, resident and public integration, policy, community resources, systemic factors, and recent or recurring incidences. Again, you will summarise and analyse the relevant environmental factors in the neighbourhood. Again, what's working well about the environment? What would we like to improve? What would help to do this? You will then also insert a map of the area of where you completed the neighbourhood assessment. And finally, you will look at how you collected the information for the assessment and what it told you. So you will write down what activity, the date and time, the relevant information collected as a result, and notes including follow-up actions. This neighbourhood assessment template can be accessed on the Contextual Safeguarding Network website. In 2020, the Peace Project undertook their first neighbourhood assessment. This was due to concerns raised from parents that young people were being groomed and exploited to sell drugs. We wanted to understand how safe residents, particularly young residents, felt in the area, and the extent to which adult community members felt able to contribute to young people's safety in the area. After completing the surveys with young people, residents, community workers, police and housing, we compiled a spreadsheet that broke down the information we received under the following categories: residents' concern for young people on the estate, suggestions residents had about solutions to address child welfare concerns, and residents' willingness to be involved in efforts to make the estate safer. We then looked for themes across the information collected, for example, positive comments about the community. We then began to write our assessment using the template shown earlier. Following on from the finished neighbourhood assessment, the outcomes of the assessment were shared with key partners, after which a project group was set up to bring key stakeholders together, discussing the main areas of need for the estate and its residents, and put into action the tasks that were most immediate and would have the impact needed on the ground. This included supporting with funding and development of a local group who, as residents of the area, have a keen interest in supporting and helping to protect children on the estate. The stakeholders agreed to provide them with funding to broaden their work and to continue it through school holidays, pay for youth work training, and train the group in contextual safeguarding and exploitation. Community Safety has since utilised funding to develop a number of Safer Communities officers and a specific Safer Communities coordinator role for this area, to help minimise the impact of gangs in the area, empower residents, and enable access to a range of support and activities which will contribute to keeping children on the estate safe. So further resources can be found in the link below. Thank you for watching the Peace Neighbourhood Assessment presentation.